Thanks very much to our radio commentary team and welcome back to the Matchday Live studio. David May alongside me. Lou McCarry will be joining us very shortly. And Maisie, a great win for United today and a crucial one at that.
It was. As I said at our time, could be difficult match in the first half performance, but once we got the second goal, we never looked in any danger of losing it. Should have probably scored maybe a couple more, but you'll take a 2-0 at home and move up to 5th.
That first half, we just wondered, with the goalkeeper making some great saves, if it was going to be one of those days. We've seen Tom Heaton come and do it this season, haven't we? I thought it was going to be another one. Yeah,
we've seen a few keepers get man of the match, and you thought Mike Gomez, was going to do the same today, but we got the goal that we thoroughly deserved. One Mata, great little flick into the back of the net, and then, as I say, the first half, we didn't really want it to end, but came out second half, and I thought it was a little bit standoffish to start off with, but I do think that once we got the second goal, then we could have gone on. We were controlling the game. David De Gea had 2 or 3 decent saves, but you'd expect him to make them saves, and I don't think they looked any more than half a threat. So good result, 3 points in the bank, and move on to Thursday.
Isn't it amazing the difference when United start a game and do control it, as you say, that you feel a lot more relaxed sitting in this studio, don't you, than some of the nervy games that we've had at times this season when United have started a little bit slowly?
Well, I think it's always important, Mandy, when you do have the possession and the amount of play we have, is that you do get the goal. Goals change games, of course they do. But when you're on top, you've got to make sure that you get a goal. And when it doesn't come, the crowd get frustrated, the players get frustrated. But the opposition, it gives them a little bit of something to hang on to. But we got the goal. They had to come out then and change tactics for the second half. And Tony Marshall got the second, thoroughly deserved. And as I say, it's a great 3 points out for us.
Yeah, well, you can get your thoughts into us. We'll be taking your calls here in the studio. Maisie and Lou McCarry to give you the reaction to your calls and your thoughts on today's game. You mentioned Martial there. How good will that be for his confidence? There have been a lot of headlines about him recently. Yeah. The manager saying that he has to work that little bit harder. Did he do enough for you today, and how much will that do for his confidence getting goal?
Yeah, I think he did enough. He caused havoc down the left-hand side. He got a goal, thoroughly deserved. Probably could have had a couple more, but as I say, whether it's bad finishing or good goalkeeping, we had plenty of chances in that first half to be 3 or 4-0 up easily. Second half, I thought we just came off the pace a little bit, but Martial got the goal that he deserved, and it was quite convincing. Really, could have been more. Had it been 1-0, we'd have been hanging on, but no, it was comfortable.
Yeah. Maisie's Man of the Match nominations, you can vote on Twitter. You've got 3 M's to pick from today: Martial, Mata and Mkhitaryan. What impressed you most about those 3? Why did they get in ahead of others?
Just because
there are quite a few you could probably have picked today, aren't there?
I could have picked Bailly. I thought he was fantastic again. Carragher, controlled midfield with Paul. I think that's probably Paul Pogba's first half performance was really good as well. There's a few you could have picked, but I just went with the 3 M's. Yeah.
Just to keep it neat and tidy.
No doubt I'll get grief on Twitter and saying, why have you not picked him, why have you picked him? But hey, it doesn't matter. He wins Man of the Match. I'm not bothered.
As long as United win the match.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Good God, it's as if it's life and death for some people that have not picked such and such a body, and you think, good, get a life.
Isn't that a good thing, though, when we do have a lot of contenders for Man of the Match? It just goes to show that their performance is impressing, players impressing all over the pitch. Yeah,
of course. As I say, that first half was probably alongside the last of them. We battered them in the first half. Probably our best performance of the season. I thought we played really, really well, and sometimes it's difficult to get back to that level in the second half when you know that they're going to change a little bit of tactics. They'll have had a rollicking at half-time, I would imagine, whereas Jose would have been saying, plenty more of that, boys, and we'll get the goals. But we'll start for 2-0. We're above Liverpool.
I was going to say, above the Scousers in the table. 3
or 4 points now of second. So, look, we're in a great position, and there's plenty more games to go. We've got to play the top, everyone who's above us now. And it's a case of looking after ourselves, and if we do that, there's no reason we can't get top 4. And we don't want to be in the top 4, we want to be top, but it's all about Champions League football next year for us, and top 4 is imperative, but you know, ideally you want to be number 1.
OK, Lou McCarry will be joining us shortly. First, let's get the thoughts of Stuart and Paddy.
As comfortable a 2-0 win as you will get. United, particularly in the first half, were absolutely scintillating. Pace, movement, intensity, just too much for Watford. It's just a shame it was only 1-0. Mata scoring after a magnificent move after half an hour. Wonderful football and a thoroughly deserved lead. Watford did improve a little bit in the second half, but United was still dominant. Martial made it 2. It was never in doubt after that. All his own work down the left-hand side, and he squeezed it in at the near post. Gomez, brilliant for Watford, particularly in the first half. He made some magnificent saves from Pogba, from Mkhitaryan, from Ibrahimovic. It was a complete performance at times from Manchester United. 2-0 in the end, and that's the least they deserved, I'd say.
Well, the first half, Stuart, was absolutely magnificent, wasn't it? Great performance, and to go in only 1-0 up was a crying shame. It should have been a lot more than that. Didn't play as well as in the second half they did in the first, but you couldn't expect that to continue the way they played in the first half. But all round, a terrific performance by United, and it keeps the run going.
Now, attention turns to cups.
Cups, yeah. Wembley. Where's the other cup? Barcelona somewhere, is it?
Saint Etienne.
I know, but where's the final of that?
Oh, Stockholm. That's a long way off. That's a long way off, Paddy. That's a long way off.
That'd be a home match for Ibrahimovic, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. But United go in great confidence into those cup games, though, after a really excellent performance.
Oh, the first half, Stuart, was a pleasure to watch, wasn't it? Long time since we've seen football like that here at Old Trafford.
Yeah, it was superb. United winning 2-0 in the end. Comfortable victory.
It certainly was. Lou McCarry, as promised, has joined us in the studio. Lou, it was a comfortable win for United, and the unbeaten run continues.
Yeah, first half played exceptionally well, Mandy. Could have been 5 or 6, should have been 5 or 6. But in the end, 2-0 gets you 3 points. 5 or 6-0 still gets you the same 3 points. So we've done it, and the good form continues. Still can't believe where we are in the league table, though. Nothing seems to change. No. We've had a good run of results. We've played quite good in most of the recent games, but still we're stuck in that. Well, won't be in that 6th spot tonight, but you know, after the weekend's over, we could find ourselves back there. And you'd like to think that when you keep winning, eventually you're going to make ground on people. But I just heard when Dave talking about top 4, I just can't see why people don't consider us to be in that top 4. There is 6 teams at the moment. We're as good as any of the 5 above us. The one that probably we're not as good of.
4 above us.
4 above us.
Come on, Lee.
Yeah.
We're up to 5th now.
Yeah, the only one is Chelsea. And to catch them at this stage of the season with games running out, that's a long shot. I don't think that's going to happen. But the way we're playing,
I think probably why a lot of people are saying that it's difficult is when the other teams have slipped up, we don't seem to have capitalised on it. I think that's probably
I think,
why
Mandy,
a lot
if
of
the
people
other
are
teams
doubting
above us were all fantastic teams, you'd be saying we've got it all to do, but they're not. They're going to make mistakes. They have made mistakes. They'll continue to make the mistakes that we've made in the Burnley game and the Stoke game and the Arsenal game where we threw away 6 points out of those 3 games. They'll do that as well, and we're as good as them, if not better. But just we happen to be in that position in the league table at this moment in time. But come the end of the season, I'll be probably more disappointed this season if we don't finish in that top 4 spot than ever before, because I think we've got the players to do it, and we should do it.
OK, let's get your thoughts on today's game here at Old Trafford. A great victory for United. Neil is in Devon, our first caller of the afternoon. Hi there, Neil.
Hiya.
Hi there, thanks for hanging on. What's your point for the guys?
Well, I'd like to first say that basically I think we played very well, and I think really our team don't really get the praise that we deserve, to be honest. The simple fact is we're in so many cup ties at the moment, and we're in the final of the AFL Cup, and I just don't think any of the players get the praise for what they are actually doing at the moment.
OK, Neil, is that sometimes a good thing, going a little bit under the radar?
I think they get the praise. I don't think the English press, give us as much praise as what we could do. But you're never going to get that anyway. So the main thing is just keep looking after yourself. Keep winning games. See where we end up end of the season. How many games left? 14, is it?
Yeah.
14 games. It's a lot of points. It's still 42 points to go. So we need to just keep going. We've got no league game now till the beginning of March. Not sure where we'll end up, because obviously other teams they'll be playing league games. But we're in a good position. We've got to play the 4 above us. So we're doing okay. We are.
16 games unbeaten, Lou, as well. I think it's one of the longest runs in all the European leagues at the moment.
Yeah, and
do you think United is Neil right? Are we not getting the credit?
I think it's because you're Manchester United, Mandy. You're the biggest club. You've got all these expensive players. People expect Manchester United to deliver. And it's amazing, that's what you've just said there, 16 games unbeaten, and you're still where we are in that league table. But it's progress.
The draws that have killed us, isn't it?
Without a doubt. Never looked like drawing today. That was a good sign, because that has been the trend. We've not looked that brilliant at times in certain games, and of course we've ended up in the draws because we haven't played right throughout the 90 minutes the way we can play. Today we did. We played superb in the first 45, maybe not as good in the second 45, because that was always going to be difficult to equal the first 45 performance. But they got the win. It was a comfortable win, and let's hope that's the trend from now to the end of the season.
Yeah, let's hope so. We've got our next caller on the line, Gaz in Stockport, I think. Hi there, Gaz.
Oh, hi. Good afternoon to all three of you.
Same to you.
Yes.
I've got an actual question itself. It's relating to one of our expensive buys from last season, Anthony Martial, how he scored 17 goals last season. With this season, how he's performing, he's been having an on and off situation, like on the pitch. Now, after today's performance, like he scored a goal and he's also assisted one, where do you think that he'd be going from there onwards in relation to Mourinho itself that he's guiding him on? What do you both think about his performance?
Lou?
Well, when he came last season, I didn't know a great deal about him. I've got to be honest, I didn't know anything about him. I don't know what you, Dave.
I think many people did.
No, and he came into the team. He was energetic. He was full of enthusiasm, and he scored goals, the goals that you mentioned. But of course, that can sort of disappear a little bit when they get their feet under the table. They get a little bit comfortable, and it's up to the manager now, the new manager, to make sure that he's not comfortable. And I think he's doing a good job in making sure that is the case. He's pointed out to him, you know, you're not going to be a regular in this team unless you deliver. And I thought he did brilliant today. And let's see what he does do. It's a good call, actually. Let's see what he does do between now and the end of the season with, let's call it, a little bit of a kick up the backside.
Yeah. I saw a great stat about Martial just during that second half. He's been involved in more Premier League goals for United than any other United player since he made his debut. 22 he's been involved in, 14 goals and 8 assists. It shows the impact that he's had. It's just we've not seen it as much this season, isn't it?
Mandy's got it, but maybe it's a second season syndrome where, you know, players come in, nobody knew nothing about him. I certainly didn't. You know, obviously Lou's mentioned that as well. People don't know how to play him. Now you've got that second season where you think, well, you know, either force him inside, force him down the outside. Players are very, very quick now to adjust to how players play against them, and maybe it's just that thing that he has to add to his game now. Yeah, Jose's had a little dig at him, and rightly so. His performances haven't matched the performances that we all expect, but when players come in, and same with Rashford as well, you know, he's not been as prolific and as fantastic as he was last season. People get to learn how you play, and it's up to you then to change your game and adapt your game and go on from there. But he's got absolute massive potential, and as long as he keeps working now, that's the key, to work his socks off in the 90 minutes whenever he plays. Sometimes he goes missing in games where you think, come on, you can do a little bit better than that. But I do think, you know, he's got a massive part to play towards the end of the season.
OK, guys, thanks for the call. Keep those coming in, and let's go to Mark Sullivan and hear what's being said on email and on Twitter, Mark.
Yeah, thanks very much. Ted has emailed in to say our play deserved more. We played with great pace. Zlatan takes up brilliant areas which makes space for others, and Herrera is a vital part of the team. His work rate is brilliant. Barry from Hull says, well played Man United. We're going into the top 4 and win the league still. FA Cup as well coming. The good times are coming back. Strandy from Corby Town writes this, just like to say 3 points needed. Got a clean sheet too. Happy man tonight, just need Liverpool and Spurs. A 5-5 draw, or any draw, he says. And this one from Syed in Blackburn, who says, the last 2 games have been impressed with Pogba playing a deeper role. sacrificing himself for the team, keeping his football more simple. With Herrera, it's a solid base. Our triple M were awesome, along with Zlatan. Martial did really, really well today. I think, barring the left-back position, that's our strongest side. More 4-2-4 than a 4-1-2-3, which we play when Carragher plays deep. So great football, popping the ball about at pace. So would you agree, guys, that pretty much that's our strongest lineup?
There's a tricky question. Strongest lineup for you?
That's one of them, certainly. I mean, the manager can change it around. He can Rashford on the right, Rashford on the left. He can put him down the middle. Can put Michael Carrick in there. He can change it all around, and that's a good thing. If you look, I always say that you judge your strength when you look at the bench, and we've got a strong bench there as well, who you can bring on if you are struggling, to break teams down, or if you're desperate for a goal. You've got players on the bench, and I always say if you've got a strong bench, then you know that everything's going in the right way.
Yeah. Positive views on Twitter as well, Sally?
Yeah, of course. Again, less activity on both email and Twitter, probably on the phone lines as well, following a fairly routine victory than we get in a disappointing draw or indeed a defeat. But on Twitter, people are generally very happy, agreeing with Maisie's man of the match selections. And MUFC Hobo has written, United definitely back, not getting carried away though. It's good we're not getting the credit that we deserve. Hated and adored but never ignored. Riaz says Mkhitaryan, Mata and Martial bring pace, quality and great football. And do you think Rooney could fit into the mix, or is it time for him to move on? So interesting question, come to that in just a minute. Mario writes this about Anthony Martial. Every time we got the ball, we felt excited. He's going to be a true world-class player. So a couple of questions for you there. What is the potential that Anthony Martial has, and what about Rooney's future?
OK, Martial's potential first. Lou, you've kind of partly touched on it, haven't you?
Yeah, that's down to the player, Mandy. He's got everything that's required in a top player. He's got that pace, he's got the trickery. He's an athletic player. I think Maisie touched on it. He's got to be a bit more consistent. So if you want to be a top player, that consistency probably is the number one thing that you've got to have. Top players give you something every week. And David touched on there was some games where he's involved in, he disappeared for long periods, and if it wasn't coming off for him, he wasn't that good on the day. That's not a top player, but he can be because he's got what's required. It really is up to him, and the little vibes you get from inside the camp is the man just trying to say to him, come on, let's see it from you, let's have a bit more. What you've got, we're not getting the maximum at this moment, we need more from you. And it just may happen. But, I don't think today is a great guide to it, because it's, no disrespect, it was Watford. If he turned Chelsea inside out and Man City or Liverpool or that, we would really be singing his praises, saying he's back and he looks hungry. Let's just see what he does, Mandy, in the next month or two. When
you say that about Martial, Lou, does the same go for Wayne Rooney with that manager message? It's up to Wayne to force his way back in? Because it started off being a huge story, Wayne Rooney being dropped to the bench, and nobody really talks about it much anymore. It's kind of what we've come to expect in recent weeks, isn't it? Two different players, aren't we? One starting their career, who's got powerful pace, and another one who throughout his career has never had pace, but probably a little bit less pace now than ever before. And, the manager is going to pick him when he feels the time's right. But if you're Martial, full of potential, and you're as good as you can be, you'll be picked every week. So Martial will be in the team every week. If he shows... look at the game against Liverpool. Martial, the young kid there playing at right back. Yeah. Martial did nothing against him. Never tested him once. No. And that's where... Had that have been Giggsy, I know Giggs is a total different sort of dynamical player. But he's a top player, Dave. But he's a top player, and he's always been a top player. Giggsy would have ran him ragged. He'd have come short, spun, come short, turned. He'd have tested him in all different defending situations. Whereas Martial came to the ball. He never really thought, right, he's a young kid playing at debut at Old Trafford. 76,000 people against Manchester United. Never really tested him. And it's them games, the big games, where he should now be thinking, right, I'm going to destroy that right back, I'm going to destroy the left back. Whoever he plays against, that's going to be my game. And he can do it, because we saw it all last season. He can rip any fullback to bits, any centre-half to bits.
giving him knowing what he can do, and we haven't seen it as much. We've seen it on, you know, a few times where you think, yes, he's back, but then he'll go missing in other games. And as Lou said, it's a consistency. But he's only a young kid as well, remember.
Yeah. Do you remember the name of that young Liverpool kid? Because I don't.
It's a three-barrel name.
Yeah, but we don't know it because we'd never heard of him before the game, had we?
No.
And we all thought, Martial, kid, mismatch, he's going to destroy him. Didn't. Top players do it, Mandy. If that was, as Dave said, if that was Giggs against this poor kid from Liverpool, he'd have destroyed him over the 90 minutes. Yeah. That's what he's got to start doing.
OK, keep your calls coming in. We'll be taking more of them after a break. We'll also be hearing from Davy Blind. Certainly are fighting for a lot. We'll be back to your calls in just a moment, but we'll check on emails first with Mark Sullivan.
Yeah, the emails have kept coming in. This one from Joe Fenech. Joe writes this: the best performance for a while, especially in the first half. Only a few points off second now, and then we can focus on the big prize. Ian in Cheshire says, a good win as we draw closer to the top four. The first half was brilliant. We could have been 4-0 up at half-time. I did think we would have a poor second half, but even though we usually cannot play a good whole 90 minutes, we had a decent second half. My man of the match is anyone, really, as long as it's not De Gea. Good win, above Liverpool, and let's hope it stays that way until March. Daz from Collie in Western Australia says, an impressive performance by United considering Watford was spirited and dangerous right up until the final whistle. Zlatan hold up playing work rate overshone his lack of scoring boots. Chelsea and Man United consistently and comfortably the best two teams in the league so far this season. So do you guys think that we're up there in Chelsea with Chelsea in terms of consistency and being the best performing side overall?
Well, 16 games unbeaten, good to say that. So yeah, I think it all boils down to those probably 6 or 7 games which we've drew, and it's absolutely it's destroyed us, to be fair.
Isn't it?
Yeah, you know, even if you lose half of them and win the others, you know, you'd be in a much better position, and that'll probably bite us on the backside, you know, come the end of the season. Those 4 or 5, maybe 6 games at home where we've absolutely battered teams, that's going to cost us, well, 5 games is certainly 10 points. If you had 10 points now, how much closer would it be to Chelsea? It'd be neck and neck.
OK, Sally, some quick tweets before we go back to the calls?
Yeah, just a couple, not really too much on Twitter, but again, very positive. Chris T says, great performance from the whole team today. Mata was my man of the match. Let's build on it and have a go in the cup competitions now. Loads of people agreeing, though, with Maisie's 3 man of the match contenders. A lot of praise for Martial, and in particular Mkhitaryan and the way he pulled the strings just behind Ibra. Finish with a tweet from Robert Moffat, who says, we're above the Scousers now, let's keep it like that, win the 3 cup games, come back and continue to climb up the league.
Sounds like a very good plan, Sully. Thanks very much. Let's get back to the phones. Louise is in Dublin. Hi there, Louise.
Hi guys, how are you?
We're good, how are you?
Not too bad, thanks. Basically, we just following on from what the guys were saying, and it's great, another great 3 points today. I think I'm delighted for Mata scoring, and it just, for me, it's just like, what does he need to do for Mourinho just to start him every game, give him full 90 minutes, because he's so passionate about the game. Every time he scores, you can see it in him. And as for Mkhitaryan, he is just an absolute breath of fresh air. And as Lou said earlier on, people are writing us off for the top 4. Top 4 is definitely well within our grip. 16 games unbeaten. As you said, the draws that we've had, I think it's more lady luck hasn't been on our side than us playing bad. The season doesn't finish till May, and top 4, definitely we will be in it. I don't think we will beat Chelsea, but going on the last few seasons, the turnaround this season, that Jose, and you know, he's just injected a new leaf of life into us. And I know we get frustrated as fans, but so many good things come from the bad results even. And I just think a lot fans need to focus on the positivity, how well we're playing. But as you said, we're above the Scousers. We're nearly just in the top 4. We're doing a great run in the FA Cup, and we've got another trip to Wembley now in a few weeks. So, you know, if people just focus on the positive things and let everything else go into play, and, you know, come May, there will be a lot of happy United fans.
Yep, certainly are, Louise. Thanks very much for your
Great call,
point this
Lou.
afternoon.
Great
Yeah,
call.
Indeed it was.
Yes.
And interesting, Louise, talking about the mentality and the change that Mourinho's perhaps brought in. And a lot of the players have been saying this week that he's got that sort of siege mentality where, you know, on the outside everybody hates us, and the inside, you know, it's all about winning and just staying together as a team. And that'll build and get stronger, Lou, won't it? You know, as a manager, the longer you have with your players, the better it gets.
Well, we had a manager for 26 years. It was all about that.
That wasn't bad, was it?
And he done all right, didn't he?
Not bad.
So it's, you know, that comes from the manager. It can instill a team to become a great team, which we had here over Alex's time. We, you know, great teams, great players, won trophies. And Jose, I think, is a manager that is capable of doing that as well. But it is all about winning, Mandy. We can sit here every week and say how well we've played, but we're still in 6th. If you don't end up winning something, come the end of the season, it really all counts for nothing. But I'm confident we will win something. The team's good enough. They've just been, for whatever reason, Nicola touched on it there, we've just been a little bit, in a couple of games, a bit unlucky in a couple of games. Other games a bit foolish and a bit poor mentality defending wise, but other games that we've played exceptionally well, we haven't got a reward for it.
OK, time for a break. After that we'll have Match Day Review. We'll be hearing from the manager and Juan Mata. We'll see you then. And welcome to Match Day Review. David May and Lou Macari are alongside me, and Lou, our unbeaten run continues. Yeah,
good win, Mandy. Should have been more goals, but most important thing obviously is the 3 points. Closes that gap a little bit today, but let's hope tomorrow it closes it even further.
Yeah, absolutely. Great performance from United today.
Wonderful. Absolutely brilliant first half performance. Should have been outside, could have been 3-4, 5-0. If it wasn't for Gomez in goal, making 3-4 fantastic saves, we should have been well out of the way. But yeah, as Lou said, great performance by the lads. I don't think he was ever going to get to the same level in the second half as what we were in the first half. But I think the manager will be thoroughly delighted with the 3 points and the way we played.
It's a much more relaxed studio, Lou, when we have a performance like that, isn't it? No nerves waiting for that victory late on. It's much nicer to do it this way, isn't it?
Yeah, and today it looked like one of those games, Mandy, where you weren't nervous. Well, I wasn't nervous. I couldn't see Watford posing very many threats, to be honest with you. But in previous games we thought that, and come unstuck with, you know, 3 draws in a row here at Old Trafford, which really is, you know, damaged our season beyond belief, because we never... That setback put us so far behind. The gap, even though we kept winning, we got this great run, the gap until today sort of hasn't looked obvious that we've closed a big gap and we're playing that well, which we are. And we just seem to be passing the weeks away up until today, where things were happening, we were winning, but no change in the league table. But today it's different, and we've got the 3 points, and we're now above Liverpool.
We are indeed. Well, we'll take a check on the results and then the table just to see exactly where we do sit after today's games. But these are the results from the Premier League on Saturday. Arsenal a 2-0 win over Hull City at the Emirates. 0-0 between Borough and Everton. A win for Stoke over Crystal Palace. A big win for Southampton at the Stadium of Light. Not a good result for David Moyes, that one. West Ham 2, West Brom 2. An equaliser late on from Johnny Evans in that one. And the late game, we will all be keeping an eye on that score as well, with Manchester City, the other team above us, not to play until Monday away at Bournemouth. So the top of the table looks like this. Manchester United now in 5th spot on 48 points. Liverpool behind as well, so it's good. They're in 6th spots with Manchester United in 5th. OK, well, let's hear of from one of today's goal scorers, Juan Mata.
Juan, it was great to watch that today. What was it like to play in?
Very good and very enjoyable. I think we played good football today. We played very offensive, trying to create chances, especially in the first half. I think we played really, really good. We could have scored more goals, but the most important thing is that, you know, we got the 3 points through good football, and I think the fans come back to their houses very happy today.
I mean, that first 45 minutes in particular, was that some of the best football you think we've played this season?
Yeah, probably was one of the best halves in the season, because from the first minute we knew that we had to play with high tempo. We need to play quick the ball and try to, run in behind sometimes as well, try to move well and coordinate it to try to create chances, and we did that. And I think it was very, very enjoyable to watch, and even better to play, obviously.
Terrific goal. I mean, you were involved in a build-up and the goal. I mean, great teamwork for that. Yeah,
great team play between Henrik, myself, Anthony. I mean, it was great to see, great to score. But I think we need to find this consistency in our game, and I think today we found it. And 3 very important points, because we climbed a little bit in the table, and that's what we want to do, get higher and higher.
Can you tell us about the celebration? The boot came off.
Well, my boot was a little bit half off and half in when I scored. So when I started to celebrate, it just went out, and it was good advertising for Adidas.
And you can tell the crowd love Anthony Martial here. He got a great reception when he was substituted, and everyone was thrilled for him to score as well today.
Yeah, me too. I was very happy for him, because it's been some difficult weeks for him, but he's been training good. He's a great friend, he's a great, obviously, player, and he can give us a lot of things. So now he's with confidence, and he's a terrific player.
So attention now turns to the Cups. 4 Cup games in 3 different competitions. I mean, are you looking forward to all of those games?
Yes, and I think today was a very important step to go with confidence into these very busy weeks. I think we have few days now until we play the next Premier League game, so we need to focus on the Cups and the Europa League and try to build a momentum.
Well done today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Great performance from Juan Mata. And Maisie, we were speaking before the game about taking the pressure off Zlatan and other players coming in and scoring, and great to see Mata do that today.
Yeah, and Martial, as we said, it's about sharing the goals, and you need at least another 5 or 6 players chipping in every other week to take the pressure off Zlatan, because if he doesn't score, if those 2 lads hadn't chipped in, it'd have been another 0-0, and you're banging your head against the wall with another draw. But no, the lads put in a great performance today, and should be very proud of getting the 3 points. As we say, it's a step closer to where we want to be. And come the end of the season, if we keep playing the way we're playing, keep the run going in the league, there's no reason why we can't get second, third easily.
Yeah, Juan Mata very rarely makes it to 90 minutes in a game, Lou, but in a way, is that because the manager takes him off because he's such a crucial player to make sure he's fine for the next game? He's a sort of ever-present almost at the moment.
Well, I think very few people, when Jose came, Mandy, thought that Juan Mata would be an ever-present. Everybody had written him off, saying doesn't go on with Mourinho, didn't happen for him at Chelsea. Jose wouldn't be worried what happened and didn't happen at Chelsea. It's what happens at Manchester United. And what's happened since he's been here, he's played exceptionally well, he's scored goals, he's a clever player, he's an enthusiastic player. And sometimes managers want to keep that enthusiasm for the next game or for the game after. And Jose will even be thinking ahead to the cup final at Wembley. So when he takes him off, especially after he scored a couple of goals recently and he took him off, that was just a case of making sure he's fit and available for selection for the next game. If he wanted to pick him, so he's done great matter since he's been here.
Yeah, superb. OK, let's get more thoughts from the dressing room now and hear from Daley Blint.
Well, Daley, 2-0, was that a comfortable victory, do you think, today?
Yeah, I think first half we played really good. Second half it's a bit of both teams, but I think we deserved to win. We created many chances, and I think we did well.
Some of the football in the first half was absolutely outstanding. Is that some of the best stuff, do you think, we might have played in a half this season?
Maybe. We could finish some more chances, but I think in the end of the football what we're showing is how we want to play, and everybody was really on top of it, on top of his opponent. Everybody wanted to have the ball and creating chances, so I think it was a good first half. And in the second half we had a bit more difficult, but they changed the system a bit, but I think overall it was a good win.
And the first goal, Mata, Mkhitaryan, Martial, all involved. I suppose the pace of the play, difficult to defend against when you're attacking like that.
Of course, we have so many players with pace, but also creative players. And yeah, I think in that goal you see so much quality. So I'm happy to play on their side.
Were you, I mean, almost slightly disappointed at half-time that it was only 1-0 because you had so much great attacking football?
Not disappointed, but you know, you get the chance and you want to finish them. You make yourself a lot more easier. But in the end, 1-0 in half-time. The second goal in the second half was good from Anthony Martial. Very happy for him as well. So it's a good win in the end and deserved.
And obviously, it's the forward players who get all the attention, but that's 4 consecutive clean sheets, I think, now as well. I mean, I suppose as a defender, do you take solace from that?
Of course, it's always nice to get clean sheets. So start up front, but in the end, it's always nice for defenders to hear that.
And that battle for the top 4, I mean, it's getting very, very close now, isn't it? You're right behind, well, you're ahead of Liverpool at the moment, right behind Arsenal, Tottenham. It's going to be very close, isn't it?
It will be close, but we have to look to ourselves, win our games, and then I'll be sure we'll be in the top 4 in the end of the season.
And the games keep going. I mean, you've got 4 cup ties now, I think, in 3 different competitions. I mean, do you like it when the games keep going in all these competitions?
Yeah, I like it. That's where you wanted to be a football player, play games, and especially at this stage, and more important games coming up, finals to play. So yeah, we're fighting for a lot still.
Well played today. Thank you. Cheers. All the best.
Yeah, it's not just the goals that are pleasing. Yeah, clean sheet today as well.
Yeah. David probably had 2 or 3 difficult saves, but you'd expect him to make those saves. And yeah, clean sheet is what every centre half, every defender, every goalkeeper wants. It gives you a foundation to go on, and you know, if you can nick a goal, get 2 goals, it's great. Clean sheets are like goals to defenders. Absolutely brilliant.
4 in a row now as well, Lou, which is really pleasing, isn't it? We've just, Maisie and I were saying before, we just want more goals to make it easy, make life easy for us as well.
Yeah, and we always look. The amazing thing is, I think in the last couple of months, we've always looked like we can score goals, and the chances have come, the chances have gone, and you think, well, why do we missed a few today? I mean, if you count up the number of chances we had today, you'll be into double figures, I would think. We took 2 of those chances, and just got to make sure as the season progresses that ratio of chances to goals becomes better, and if it does, then we're going to keep winning games.
Yeah, certainly are. OK, let's get the thoughts of the manager now, speaking to Stuart.
Jose, at times it was absolutely scintillating to watch today. What did you make of it all?
Beautiful. The period before the goal was amazing. The crowd was so happy, so enthusiastic, because quality, chances, beauty, football, movement, chances, saves was absolutely amazing. It would be a football crime if we don't score a goal in that period. We scored, and it was an important goal for our confidence, a little bit of sense of relief to arrive at half-time winning. Then in the second half we could kill the game with more goals. We didn't, and I felt the need. If we don't kill in one way, we have to kill in another way. So if I don't kill scoring the 3rd goal, I'm killing, bringing Fellaini, giving stability to the midfield, giving one more player in the air to cope with their direct football to Dini and Okaka at the time. So we did well, and very much deserved. And now 1 day off for the guys, and Monday we start thinking about Saint-Etienne.
Pace and movement and intensity, particularly in that first goal. I mean, what pleased you most overall today?
You know, what pleased me more was the way we start the game. We start the game. I told the players we don't need to score in the first minute. It's difficult to score in the first minute. It's something that is out of our control to score in the first minute. But to start playing good football in the first minute is possible. Is our responsibility, and we have to do that. And they did that. We start playing well in the first minute. We start immediately playing well against a team with lots of defenders playing, central defenders playing left back, very defensive players, big, strong, physical. Difficult, but we did that very well. And when we are 1-0 in front, then we have more space to play. And with the second goal, we put the game totally in our side.
You congratulated Anthony when he came off. I think Old Trafford delighted to see him score. Are you happy with Anthony today?
I'm happy. I'm happy with the last 2 weeks of work. The way he faced the work, hard work, with more concentration, with more determination, and that's why I gave him this gift to start the game, because normally after Leicester I would start with the same players. I would keep Marcos in the team. I just felt that Marcos doesn't need a boost because he's playing all the time. Anthony, because maybe he was feeling a little bit down, he needed a gift, and he answered in the best way.
I think that's 4 consecutive clean sheets as well. Are you happy with what's happening at the other end of the field as well?
I'm happy. The team is defending well. Doesn't matter who is playing. We have, for different reasons, to change defenders. Sometimes Blind, sometimes Rojo, sometimes Jones, sometimes Smalling or Bei. And the team is defending well as a team. And then if the goalkeeper makes an important save in a certain moment, like David did in the Zarate free kick, is even more important. But I think the team as a team is defending well.
Thanks for your time. Cheers.
So the manager will be very happy with that result, especially with a little break in the league now as well.
Yeah, it's all about cup competitions now. You know, get through Thursday and then the FA Cup, then you're off to Wembley. So be a good, could be a good couple of weeks. Happy days. Get a trophy on board, and then you can go back to the league in early March. I think it's I'm not sure who the next one is. The next game away.
It is.
Do your homework.
It is. Where is it? It is Bournemouth at home.
See, so
the week after the league.
You would expect us to certainly beat Bournemouth at home. I think the next couple of games, you know, we should be winning. So, listen, we continue to keep playing the way we are, keeping clean sheets, creating chances. We'll be okay.
Wembley's so important.
Yeah.
I know it's a competition, Mandy. We rubbish it, don't we? Let's be honest.
If it's the first one that Mourinho wins, then it bodes well, doesn't it?
It should never be rubbish. It's a cup competition that's been there for years and years under different names. If you get to that final, it's the first final of the season, and if you win it, it can give you players such a lift. You get into those remaining games full of confidence, the pressure's off a little bit, because there is a bit of pressure on us. We've got to win something.
Yeah.
So that pressure immediately comes off, and the team and the players will be and the manager will be a lot more relaxed. So that's why I think it's really an important game for us. I know it's Southampton. People say, well, you should beat Southampton, but go back to 1976 when we played them and we didn't beat them. So it's vital we go there and we lift the trophy.
You ask every other club now who's not in the final. They'd love to be where we are.
Liverpool would, wouldn't they?
100%. 100%. What have they got to play for now? It's just got the league, so.
Could just give you that boost you need for the second half of the season as well, winning a trophy at the end of February. OK, time for a quick break. After that, we're going to be revealing the man of the match, according to these guys, or according to you, from today's game. And we'll also be hearing from Jose Mourinho in his press conference. Welcome back to Matchday Review. Time now to reveal the man of the match. According to you guys, you have voted overwhelmingly for Anthony Martial. 72% of the vote. So there we go. OK, let's hear from Jose Mourinho, this time in his press conference.
For bonus of La Sexta, Spain. Congrats about the winning. In the second half, the fans are singing to David De Gea. And in our program, we published this week that Real Madrid want to sign him again. How is important for you and for the team, David?
Very important. That's why he has the contract he has. He gets the money he gets, and it's very important for us. So
that was probably as good a first half as we've seen.
Yeah.
Under you, do you agree?
Not just under me. It was very good.
Yeah.
It was very good. I think it's the kind of football that, if instead of being a Mourinho's team, if it's somebody else's team, you would say art. But because it's my team, you just say it was very good. But that's fine. Was very good. Was very good. Was very good. They played very well. The fans understood. They were behind them. They pushed them. And the first half was amazing. Second half, we scored the second goal, and then we had to kill the game. We didn't kill with 3-0. We killed tactically. And we closed the game because Watford is a good team with good players, very physical. They can be very direct and dangerous. So we need to kill the game. the results, but very important victory for us.
Jose, is that the Anthony Martial you've been wanting to see?
The Anthony Martial I want is the Anthony Martial of the last 2 weeks of training. Because if he trains the way he did in the past 2 weeks, he performs naturally the way he did today, or better. Because I think he still misses a little bit his confidence. I kept shouting to him, attack the defender, and go to the 1-against-1. He needs that confidence, but he's working very well. I gave him the chance to start. Normally I would start with Rashford because Marcus played well and the team played well at Leicester. But I thought Marcus doesn't need a boost. He's in confidence levels normal. Anthony needs to feel that I'm looking at him, that I know what he did in training, the effort that he did in training. So I gave him this chance, and he played well. He played a good game for me.
Jose, do you feel you found the balance? It's 4 clean sheets in a row as well. And
we had very good matches by the defensive point of view, but in the end, we were unlucky here or there. We conceded a goal. We had a penalty against Liverpool and so on. But the team is playing well defensively, and the good thing is that sometimes we change players by decision or by need. But we change Rojo or Blind, Jones, then Jones is injured and plays Smalling. We change the players, and we have some good stability. We can concede goals, obviously we can concede goals, but I think the team defensively is good, and Paul is playing with great balance. These last 2 matches, he's playing with his brain, he's recovering lots of balls, he's being very good in his positional play, so we are fine.
Is it a boost to be sick for the first time in a while? Moved up 7
other teams are good teams, other teams are lucky teams. Hull City was lucky against us, was unlucky this afternoon. We have an amazing record of being unbeaten, but we should have more victories, and with more victories we would be in a better position. But this is what it is, and we have to keep fighting for points and trying to reach a better position.
Okay, guys. Jose Mourinho, a very happy man. He's not the only happy man today, is he?
No, our producer here at MUTV, Mike Gray, he's won Employee of the Month.
Really? Are you joking?
You're ready to laugh, aren't you?
No chance.
He's won Employee of the Month, and he's been in the director's box.
He's been watching the game today. He steadies the ship well. That's all we've got time for. Congratulations to Mike and United. Bye-bye for now.
You should win it more often.